The knocking in traditional form is to pay homage. Homage is respect. Respect is a gratitude in a form to give honor to God, Eledumare, the one that created the heaven and earth, the one that says this world should be, and it has come to be. So I pay my homage. I pay homage to the next in rank to God, Eledumare. They are the 200 deities of the rites that are male, 301 on the left that are female. We call them Igba Imale Ojikotun. Okanleni Imale Ojikosi. I pay my homage. I pay my homage to my father and my mother. And from my father and my mother, I pay homage to the father and the mother of each and every one of us, because they are the ones that are next to the Orishas of the heavens, because they are the Orishas of the earth, because if not them, we cannot be here. God could have asked us to come through another woman or another man, but because He chose that our very mother, father, should bring us here. So they are very special to us. I pay homage to my Ori and the Ori of all of us, because it's the identification of us as human. Homage to the guiding spirit, that is the Orisha, that is on the head of each and every one of us. When homage is paid, we know that we have done what we're supposed to do. Just like when you want to enter into the house, you say, Agonile, Agonile, Agonile. You greet to Shago, so that the gate can be opened without you breaking in. And you know when the gate is opened voluntarily by the owner of the house, you stand to enjoy the benefits in the house. So I pay homage. And I pray that all of the entities I pay homage to will today bless our sharing, so that the information we are sharing amongst ourselves will be beneficial not only to us, but to mankind in general. I therefore welcome you to today's session of another step of the series of sharing that we have been doing. Don't want to call it lecture. I want to call it information dissemination. We disseminate information and we discuss. Because each of us happen to be an aspect of God one way or the other. So we have information that we can give out ourselves, no matter what, because we are not ordinary. Even animals are special, not to talk of human beings that are kings over the animals. So coming together, we expect all of us to contribute so that we can all be able to enjoy ourselves. If there's a person who has money and decides to cook for the poor, and he cooked a lot of food for the poor, and is happy that he has cooked a lot of food for the poor, and he put it out there, unfortunately, he finds no poor person to eat it. The food is a waste. So that rich guy who has money to make so much food is important. So also the people who want to eat it are also important. Because in Ifa and Orisha, Ifa says, Bawo je, Ifa ogba. If awo, that is people, spiritual entities, if they don't eat, Ifa has not accepted the offerings, has not accepted the celebrations. So when you do Thanksgiving, the passing of your father, the passing of your mother, the happiness of having a good house, happiness of having a new car and things, and you cook food. If people don't eat it, your food is useless. So you need to thank people who even come to eat. And that's why when you give out knowledge, when you expect them to thank you, you must first of all thank them for even caring to listen to you. Because if they don't listen to you, your ambition of disseminating knowledge, of making this world a better place to live, has been foiled. Because they don't come, they don't listen, they don't give it out, they don't use it for themselves. The benefits of a teacher, that a teacher would say, whether a teacher in school or whatever, is that people get knowledge through him or her. That's what a teacher enjoys. That people get benefit of knowledge through the teacher. That's why the teacher is happy. Not because of the money that is paid. That's something different. It's because people are enlightened, are educated by his or her efforts. That's what makes him or her happy. So therefore, we are here as co-partners in sharing information. It's give and take. I give, you take. You can give back too, either to me or to other people. So that this life can be a better place to live. So I welcome you all, and may Ledumare approve our ambition. Because no matter what number of people we have here, we cannot estimate the number of people that you will have impact upon in your home, in your family, in your work, at gathering, in different places. Sometimes not even by words, but by your character. The way you behave will have impact on people to show that, yes, this person is special. He has knowledge and is using the knowledge to reflect in his life. That's why we say what we teach, what we share, ought to be termed as way of life. We don't take it and hide it. Let's disseminate it through our words of mouth, through our relationship, our behavior, in our homes, with our wife, our children, our parents, our societies. Even with people who don't know us, because they look at us. Because you know a person very well by hearing what the person says from his mouth. You know a person very much experiencing what the person does. You know a person very well by listening to what people say about that person. 3 dimensions. What he says, what he does, what people say about it. So let's check those 3 areas so that we can use it to disseminate information to the world. Don't let us say, oh, people commit havoc, nothing happens to them. Why can't I do the same? No, you are not like him. You be you. You have to be you. So people don't talk with, you don't relate with, have a right to see what you do. And they pick something from that. Because they look at you, you cannot say, close your eyes, don't see me. Close your brain, don't feel me. When one is not insane. They'll feel you. They see you. They hear about you. They hear what you say. So they don't know you. They either learn from you to benefit them, or learn from you to protect themselves against your type of person if you are a bad person. That's why it's important to share information. Some people have information and they keep it. They keep it even to their family. There is an Ifa that says, "Onte nori ni kenu oma je." Adifa fún parako yi ọmọ akọrọ ọkùnkù. Parako yi ọmọ akọrọ ọkùnkù. Onte nobody ni kenu oma je. Whatever the mouth says, let the mouth eat. Divine for Parakoyi, the one that keeps every knowledge inside him until he died. Every knowledge he kept inside him until he died. Because he will not talk, he will not socialize, he doesn't drink with people, he doesn't go out, he just to himself. He happened to be a Babalao, he learned, he had a lot of knowledge. He had a wife, eventually he had the first 2 children. He had money, he bought a big land and did farming, and his farm was good. But this guy will never share knowledge of his Ifa or Orisha. This guy will not tell his wife or his children where he had his farm and the properties he had. All to himself. Unfortunately for him, when the wife had the pregnancy of the 3rd child, he died. When he died, poverty came. The wife ran to the friends of the guy. "Hey, I know my husband has a lot of things. Please show me where he has his property. We are suffering here. We don't have money to take care of ourselves. I'm in pregnancy. I need a lot of food." They said, "Your husband never told us where he has his things. We know he has a lot of things. Even with his colleagues, he won't share his knowledge with us." Poverty killed the wife in pregnancy. Now in heaven, he saw what he did was bad. He now transformed into a different form and going to the other Babalawo and teaching them in their dreams, regretting, biting his finger. What has he done? Why did he do that? Why did he do that? So that's why I say, hey, I don't want to be Parakoyi or Makoro Kunku. I don't want to be Parakoyi, the one that will keep everything inside him till he dies, because he does not pay. That's why we need to do sharing. We have had a lot of hot topics, but people have questions. It may be questions from what we have done. Some people will not even understand it very much when we are giving the information. And when I talk, I ask people to jot down points, what they don't understand. So if we don't give a room for people to ask the questions, we have not done justice to the main duty we say we're doing here. And that's why we make this session question forum about Ifa, Orisha, tradition, and culture. So I pray that you will feel free. You know, you are at home. No question is a foolish question. I learned well because my Oluwo told me no question from me would be a foolish question to him. So I could ask any question. Though I gave him respect, I will not disrespect him by talking nonsense, but I will ask him question with intelligence, and I will have answer. So today is a free day for all of us, so I'll be listening to your questions. You are welcome. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Baba. We have been enjoying your lectures and learning so much. I want to start my question from what you've just talked about. When you say you know a person based on what people say about them, their actions, and what they themselves say.
Sure, that's good.
What if people are lying about this person to you? And we have no way, at times we have no way of knowing that they're lying, and sometimes we act upon what lies have been told about this person.
That's a very good question. You see, no one should be aspiring to have 100% in anything in life that I want to score total. We are always looking for pass mark if we have humility. The three areas we said, what people say about him, what he says by himself, what he does by himself. If they're lying about a person, all the lies they tell about that person will not be the same about what he says about himself, because he will not lie against himself. And what he says will reflect in his character, in what he does. If everything they say about him is not related to what he does and what he says, a reasonable person that hears what bad things they say about him will just say, hey, these people are just blackmailers, and that's kind of the end of it. And there's an Ifa that says, there's a person they call Erejawa. Erejawa was one that was taking like taxes from people from the king of Owaland, Owa of Jeshaland. But because he was building some houses, things were good, they started lying against him, to the king, that, hey, he's not giving you a good account. Don't you know he has a house? And he's building another one. So you better sack him. And the guy was caught. He said, well, it's true that I'm building a house. And it's true that I'm starting another one. Don't you know that what you give me out of what I bring to you is so much? And I don't spend badly. I spend my money well. That's why I'm able to build a house and start another one. But you know what? Let's leave that alone. He said, Ifarinu ilerika ẹni tó ń ṣe bí Ọlọ́run mọ̀. Ifa sees the inside of everybody. The Mother Earth knows the wicked one. The one that is doing ugly thing, God knows. Say, what? That's what I need to say. Owa looks, say, a person that is so bold to use these three instances, three situations to support himself, must be somebody good. Let me leave it too, because I'm not as wise as Ifa, or what said it. I'm not as wise as the Mother Earth. Neither am I as wise as God. So if I didn't know, if I see the inside, in certain language, I see my inside. Ilerika, the Mother Earth sees the wicked because it's going to consume the wicked quickly. That's why it says it sees the wicked. And it's on Shebi Oloruma. That person that's doing something bad, God knows. If God now knows, and he does not do anything against him, let's leave God to that. God has his own program. God is all good, he's all powerful, he knows what he's doing. So in other words, one should not bother about people blackmail them who talk bad about them when actually they know they are clean. They should not allow the blackmailing, the character assassination to give them any headache.
Sure.
They just leave it alone. That's why the adage does not say one thing. That, hey, you know a person by what they say about him, then that will not be good enough. They cannot be saying something bad about him, and then he will say something about himself, when it's not crazy. And even if he says something bad about himself, maybe he's a big joker. Maybe he likes to make fun that, hey, I will tell people I'm bad, but I just want them to go and check what I do. If they say, I'm not kind, I'm wicked, I don't help anybody, I don't care, if you come to me, I'll send you out of my house. And say, hey, God, see me before you go. Huh? What I say? I'm just, I say, hey, I heard that they said you went to bank yesterday. You are trying to look for a small loan. You're asking for 5,000 from the bank. You know what? I don't do loan. This $2,000 I give to you free. You don't have to pay back. And don't tell anybody I do it for you. Go. And don't come back to say thank you. That person will obey all things, but there's one is going to disobey. It's going to disobey, don't tell somebody. He will tell somebody. He will tell her mother. She will tell her father. She will tell God, pray for that guy.
And say, don't tell.
Pray for that guy. Even he says that I should not tell anybody. I cannot keep this one to myself. And every day before I pray for myself, pray for him. Before you know it, things will change. People will know. So what we do is so important by ourselves. It will show. So if you do something bad also, it will show. If you say you are good, you are saying something fantastic about yourself, but you are doing the opposite, people will know. They can blackmail you. They can say, oh yeah, it's this, it's that, it's a womanizer, it's a thief, they may say so many bad things about you, and people will hear. And if people ask you, just say, hey, I don't have anything to say. Watch me. That's it. We do what? Watch me. Simple as that. If they say, oh, you always follow women and things, you are a woman. Are you waiting? I come to you first. No, it's as simple as that. You understand what I'm saying? So what we do is more important than what they say about us. Even more important than what we say about ourselves. But please, when we are doing something good, don't let's say something bad about ourselves. Because it is a crime not to find something good about ourselves. We need to boost our own ego. We need to say something good about ourselves, about our Ori. Because we are two. You spiritual, you physical. When you physical is saying something bad about yourself, you spiritual will not be happy. So let's use our mouth to say something good about ourselves. So I think that's the way I can answer your question, Chief. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Are you ever put in a position to, I know that you said to leave it to God when someone crosses you or tries to offend you in some way. If you see an opportunity to retaliate, or to do something that will be effectively, or you know, that will be able to get them in some way. Were you blessed with that situation where you can act in a way that can get someone that has hurt you, or is it really always to leave it alone and to always
Yeah, that's a very good question. Number one,
right, so always.
African spirituality does not go in the way of if they slap you on the right cheek, turn to the left. No, that's not African spirituality. When they slap you on the right cheek, number one, first of all, think that why do I allow that to happen?
Right.
Then you think at that moment, if I slap back, can I win? The person who slapped you on the right cheek is almost double your size. The arm is like 3 times your face. Even if you attempt to fight, it might kill you. So, to slap back might not be wise, but you are not going to turn the left face to that person. Then you first of all think, do I deserve being slapped? Do I deserve being slapped? If you deserve being slapped, thank that person who slapped you. Because he has actually cautioned you not to do the same thing to somebody else who put a gun on your head instead of slapping you. You need to first of all judge, do I deserve being slapped? But if you don't deserve being slapped, you have to think, why did he do it? Why? What did it happen? Is he sick? If he's sick, don't slap him back. Because if you slap him back, the next things that say, he may come after you and be biting your body, doing anything because he's sick. And if you get to the authorities, they say, hey, you don't know you have to run away from a mad person. But if he's not sick, if you don't deserve being slapped, and he does that to you, and you are not happy, and he feels that he can get away with it, and is not attempting to do it immediately again, he who fights and runs away lives to fight another day. You have to first of all go home. I'm using slap to represent so many things that I will explain. Go home. Go and pray. Tell God, or your Orisha, or your Ifa, that I don't deserve this. And I told you before I left the house, for me to meet this one outside, despite the fact I do what I'm supposed to do to you, Orisha, you need to do something about it. That guy didn't slap at my face. He slapped at your face. If you feel that you can do it and get away with it, fine. If you feel you should not, I leave it to you. That's one of the greatest retaliation you can do to an oppressor. Greatest retaliation you can do to an oppressor. But if it's somebody that does that and is still trucking you, didn't want even to leave you that time, you have to find a way to escape. Either you look for help immediately, take a phone call 911, For you to be protected, you need to look for something to defend yourself there and then, so that it doesn't continue. Because if it continues, you may not get home, it may kill you. So you need to protect yourself there and then. Then when you now get home, you will not tell Ifa and Orisha alone, you will tell the authorities that this is what is going on, this is what is going on. But as a traditional person, you need to tell your Orisha. And definitely, Orisha will not just leave him alone. Deeper than that, Orisha people should not just be going emptily, unprotected. You have to be thinking of all of these. There are hooligans around, there are terrible people around, there are oppressors around, there are rogues around who just want to destroy people, cheat people. You need to spiritually protect yourself as an Orisha person. When you do yourself, you break your obi, you do this, you have to be praying, protect me, this, that. Sometimes when they divine for you, something that can come up that, hey, you need to do some protection. You need to do something to put on your body so that you can be protected. All of these things come out through Ifa divination, through Orisha fomentations, and when they ask you to do it, so that you are protected. There are a lot of things that will happen in this country and other places, that they will be attacking people and things, and you see somebody that they don't even touch. If you wonder what happened, say, I don't know. Maybe it's the mother that has been praying for her daughter. Maybe it's the father. Maybe they have done something on your body when you are little to say you will be protected. So, prevention is better than cure. It is important to protect yourself before an attack comes. That's the bottom line. Get yourself protected. You know, when we are displaying the stuff of the remedy for ailments, we are saying we have things against kidnapping, we have things against protection, we have reward for wicked people. This reward for wicked people, this is a thing we call it akirara, that when they do it for you around your wrist, it's difficult for anybody to just come and attack you because it works with your blood, it's already in you. Akirara. The real Odu that carries it is Irosara. It's difficult for anybody, even when you are working and people want to make sure the work does not pay you, they want to make sure that every effort you make, you don't make profits, you don't even know how you spend your money, or you're on the line to succeed and get to the place, everything just scatter. They say you have a good feature and you are going. By the time it comes to the time they'll say, hey, it's not your time, they want to put you something, it just goes away. That if somebody's in there doing a thing, that type of stuff will destroy such people. This is so tough that people who are in such a dilemma, that their back comes to the wall, they cannot move this, they don't know what to do again. They do that type of stuff. And when they do this stuff and they do it for them well, there are two Orishas involved with that protection. That's Obaluaye, the defender of the weak. That's another name we call Obaluaye, defender of the weak. Then Shango, Olukoso, the protector of his family. They are the two that combine together to protect such a person, and they use the power of thunder and lightning to destroy such enemies. When they destroy them, either they incapacitate them that they cannot be able to do that again, or they kill them. That protection is a very powerful one. The Babalawo and Orisha people that know what I'm talking about, they will know what I'm saying. Very powerful. Anyone, whether it's a witch, is a wizard, is this, is an oppressor, is an ugly person who wants to just make sure that he smiles because of your downfall, and is tracking you to make sure that you don't succeed. And they do it no matter who the person is. They are knocked off. So all of these are protections. But why should people do it when God is watching? God created this world as a place of experience. That's why people don't leave one time and not come back. It's like an interesting place for God to see what we do. He could destroy the enemies, but he will not. He wants to see if you are careless too. There are some people when they send their children to school, they say, hey, don't fight anybody in school. But if anybody does something bad to you, tell your teacher. Your teacher does not act. Tell me when you get home. It has happened before to me that I went to school to fight, to protect my child. And I took the teachers on. This child reported to you, didn't do anything. And I asked them not to fight in school. And I have a reason, because I'm a Babalao. I don't want them to fight, and you now say that, oh, it's the child of a Babalao. They reported to you, don't do anything. Now I'm here. That teacher that did so to my child must come out now to beat me too. And it's better for him to beat me. If he doesn't beat me, let me beat him. Because if I don't beat him physically, when I get home, I will beat him. And that beating will be terrible. And this was in a military school that I did it before. That's why my children respect me so much. They believe in me so much. And they would tell friend, don't touch me. You'll be lucky if I touch you back. But if I get home and tell my father, you're not lucky. I'm that trait, you know. Because it's important to protect your children. That's why the fact that we take care of them, we should be able to take care of our children, and we should be able to take care of ourselves too. I hope you understand me a little bit. Thank you, ma'am. Any other question? We welcome you, beautiful girl. My daughter Malika.
Thank you. I have several questions.
Several, okay. We are all listening. We are all listening.
Okay, I start with the most easiest one. What is considered well-dressed fashion for Orisha people, women and men? Because, you know, I watch TV and I'm influenced by magazines, and I go in between Beyonce and Oprah, and what is appropriate but still fashionable and, you know, respectful as a mature woman, so that I'm not, you know, displaying myself. Because sometimes I go places and I feel like it's fine, and then it's like maybe not the best choice, or that, or you know, men inappropriate. So I want to dress where I still feel like this is fabulous, but it's appropriate, and also to represent my journey without, you know, it's fun but not being distasteful, because we live in a world contemporary where it show everything that's fun. And I'm also a dancer, and we wear less clothes sometimes. So like it might be a bodysuit on stage or just sports bra and leggings. But in the regular world, what is appropriate as a Orisha woman?
Good.
And then
That's a very good question. Number one, dressing have a lot of codes. Dressing is dictated by outing. Let me take it from area that may want to bother you a little bit. As a dancer, which is not far from your Orisha, Shango happen to be the best dancer in the world. And Shango people, when they go out for show in the dance, many a time they don't use Shango dress from the house. They wear other dress in the house before they get to where they perform. And even when they get to the place, they can change many times. So for a performer, when the performer is leaving the house, and a young lady for that matter, who is pretty like you, needs to dress decently in any tradition. If it's the English, because you are in America, you cannot say because you are an Orisha girl, you will not wear English dress sometimes. You work in a place that is corporate, where you see government officials, you are the chief of staff, where you work, you need to dress in corporate form. That people will see that, say, this is a working class girl. As if you are going to meet the president. May not be expensive, but when you go out yourself, you must know that, okay, this is decent. When you get to work, usually there may be a top coat, that may be too warm for your office that you will hang, and then maybe have your blouse on skirt that does not expose your body too much. Because people will come to the office, when they see you and see you are half nude, instead of facing what they come to do in your office officially, you are giving them another sense that, hey, maybe I can take this girl out. But that actually meaning something serious. Or maybe the boss just put her there for her to make sure we are seduced to get something from us, things. But dressing well is more seductive, more profitably seductive than half nude. Seductive in the sense that the person will have interest in that person will be an interest that will be deep. Deep that, how can I be so close to see what is inside that building? To have the opportunity to be qualified to see that person in a closer form. That doesn't fail. The other one, that one is almost exposed before. How can I have the opportunity to eat up this food that is wasting? Because this person is ringing a bell. The food is here, come and eat, it's free. Hey, let me just do that, rush it and go away. It's not coming back. Because there's nothing else he wants to look for. A man is built to conquer. The nature of the man is to conquer. The area is conquered, he may not want to go back there if one is not careful. Unless if he sees there's something else there that he still need to conquer. That's why our mothers those days, they don't expose themselves. Even when they are in the house, they still cover up. Some of them, when they want to sleep with their husband, it will be a fight before their husband can take the dress out of their body. They'll be pulling it, the woman will be pulling it. That itself is now attracting the man more and more. Not before he touches you, you have thrown everything. See? And what we think, oh, because I want to please him so that I can stay. No, you are sending him away. He's not coming back. Because there's nothing else. And when you start to display, oh, that's what she does. Heaven knows how many people he has displayed that to. You see some people, when they're having affairs with them, will be crying, they will be, it's a lie. It's not paining her, but just to give the man the impression that, oh, I don't do that type of thing. You know, just to give yourself honor and prestige. So, when you dress well, you give yourself honor and prestige. Now, when you are going to perform, you have an outfit to use. That outfit, when you get there, depending on the performance you are doing, when you get to the stage, the light they normally put at the stage usually is not bright light. That's a cover, it's on its own. It can be seductive, nobody can touch you. It's on the stage, you know, they'll say, am I really trusting what I'm seeing? That would be the impression of the audience. Am I really trusting what I'm seeing? And by the time you finish, you're not going out with that. You're back to the changing room and you dress up there. Was that a girl that just saw now? That's duty performance. Now, as an Orisha girl, when it comes to Orisha thing, an Orisha girl must have a particular day, which is the day of her Orisha, that has to dress and respect that Orisha that day. Let the color of that Orisha reflect. If you cannot do the color of the Orisha reflecting in totality of the dress, you can wear white, but put the sign of the Orisha for the Orisha to respect. Like today is the day of Shango, I wear white. But I put a big bead of Shango, Olukoso, that he recognizes very well. Despite the fact I have the beads of the rest of the Orisha in here, but I want to show that, oh, it's Shango that is on duty, Anoya. And as a big Babala Orisha person, I reflect that even the mother art that I step in, I tell the mother art that, hey, it is Shango there.
Okay.
So, you see, these Orishas are happy when you do that because they know you are not doing it for fun. They know that, yes, you know, you respect them. You know, so because you want their blessing, you want to associate with them so that they know that they need to protect you. So that's why each person must know the day of their Orisha. And the Orisha dresses we are talking about does not mean that you have to buy a dress that 1 yard of cloth will cost you $500. Decency, what is important. Can be a piece of cloth of $5 a yard, $3 a yard. It depends on how you build it and make it good. And before you know it, the Orisha will be so happy. In Nigeria now, some of the materials we use, when we sew it, the money for the designer is sometimes times 2 the cost of the dress. depending. Especially some of us that are on top level, because of experience and age. We have to watch what we wear. So we just don't wear just anything, because we shall be happy. I always tell people I dress to please my soul, not to impress anybody. Because that makes you happy and comfortable with your Orisha. You don't many times have to wear the Yoruba dress on the Orisha day. If it's not convenient, maybe the work you go to, you cannot wear that. Maybe if you work in the bank or something, and even if they have a code of dress in the bank, they will not ask you to have a coat of beads. There are a lot of beads you can use now that can be any color. There are pearls, there are something in different color. There are gold of different colors now. That you can really do your shopping for, to respect your Orisha, and the Orisha will know. And they are about color. There are many times not about the materials. The one I use in my hand now, they say, okay, so women use that and blah, 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 blah. Women braid hair. Why do men do? Women use coral beads. Why do men do? Women use shaggy, the blue bead. Why do men do? When it comes to ornaments, it's is and has. Depends on what pleases you. When I was going to craft my special bead, this is crafted by me. I look for the bead maker who makes bead for even women. I didn't see any bead of man with her, but I got in there and saw something I can craft for my own liking, and that's it, because it's me. I want me to be me, and Mauritius will be happy about that. So you need to create that by yourself, put in your head that you are dressing to please yourself. Who's yourself? You, your soul, your head, and your Orisha that is guiding that head. That's you. When you put it in mind, you are not doing it to seduce anybody. You are not doing it. You are doing it to please your work, to please your profession. That's the thing. You put it in mind, and by the time you finish, There will go be a line drawing. When you're on the stage, that's a different thing. If being on the stage, that what you have to wear on the stage is just the bra and the pants or whatever, for that stage walk. Nobody touches somebody on stage. And by the time you finish, shh, it's something else. Somebody will not take advantage. Oh, was it not you that is not half nude now? That's not your name. You don't even answer. You know what I'm saying? That's that aspect. If you can have the next one. If you are satisfied with that anyway. And I can still go on and on.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. It's more like a review. What are different types of egungun? I know it's the personal family one. What are the different types of egungun?
Good. You see, egungun number one, egungun is ancestor. The ancestor of the father, the ancestor of the mother. But in advanced study, it now go beyond, oh, my paternal ancestor, the egungun of my father, that is my father's father's fathers in heaven, my mother's mother's mothers in heaven. It now comes to the egungun of my lineage, like my own lineage from Jagun or Jogidigba in Osogbo is Olukotun. That's an Egungun in heaven that they created that had led them from the beginning of the Genesis. Because when the Romans were coming, Egungun followed them. It was at the back. It was the one they were sending to communicate heaven back and forth, because he covered the face. That's Egungun. But you now have some Orisha that transform into Egungun in some area. Like Shango is an Egungun in an area. We call it Shango Egungun Ori Odo. When an Orisha covers up, they cannot see his face that has changed from physical form to the spiritual form, is already Egungun. So Shango is called Egungun Ori Odo, Egungun on the mortar. You see the mortar, you know, the thing, the round wooden thing that people pound inside it. You know, the mortar and the pestle. But the mortar itself, when it's turned down and Shango sits on it, it becomes something else. If somebody has Shango in the body, initiated and is really big in him or her, if by mistake he sit down on top of that mortar, Shango will come up in him or her. So terrible. So when Shango sits on that Odo, he has become Egungun Ori Odo. Orunmila is sometimes called Egungun because when he transforms to talk to Eledumare through his language, we call Orunmila Egungun Olufe, Egungun of the owner of Ile-Ife. Call him Ifa. Egungun Olufe, Ifade, Ode Boshende is in a song. Egungun Olufe, Ifa is so called. They call another one Egungun Oru, the Egungun of the midnight. That's my mother, the witches. Egungun Oru, because when something starts, people to see nightmare, something's putting the hand on you, cannot wake up, you don't know what is happening, it's giving you fear. Please help me beg my mother, the witches. They have come in the form of Egungun, call him Egungun Oru. So they transform into different things by the situation they want to procure. That's why we have different Egungun. And then you have the Egungun that dance around. So that's why we have Egungun. But definitely Egungun is a situation undercover. It's an undercover edify of a particular Orisha. That's Egungun. That's how we come about it. And you know what? Another funny one, you know that if somebody's dead, even in the hospital, immediately know that he has stopped breathing. What do they do in the hospital? Say? They put the cloth and cover the face. They have become Egungun. So which means Egungun has to do with covering up the face. So when the face is covered in totality, anything can happen under the cloth, which you and me may not know. So Egungun is under cloth. That's why some song will say, Egungun da won boju, oni kan ma ri un o. Egungun cover up even with a net, say, don't see me. So if something's not covered, it's not yet Egungun. And that's why when people do Egungun masquerade, and see them uncover their face, they say, hey, you are destroying Egungun tradition. And there's another Ifa that says, Pata Pata Legun Dasobori. That's the Jigwe. Egungun covers the head and the total body without showing. Ki han lower, ki han lese. It does not show the hand, does not show the leg. Toba han lower, toba han lese atokun le lopa paje. If any of the part of the Egungun shows, the Egungun guardian will be punished by the spirit of the taboo. Which means that Ifa is emphasizing that the Egungun must be totally covered. You don't see, the part of the body. So that's what I can tell you about the different type of Egungun.
Thank you, Baba. How do you venerate your personal family Egungun? I know you was going over it and that you talked over
Good.
it, but just a review of the process of what you're supposed to do.
Good. Egungun generally to be venerated. You can venerate Egungun physically if you have the garment of Egungun in the house, where they put it. Though it's a prerogative of men. You don't ask a woman to go to the house of Egungun and be venerating Egungun. Unless if it's an Yagan. Yagan is the mother of Egungun. But that must be a person that has entered her menopause, that does not do menses again. And we always say if there's a young lady who's still doing menses and wants to be going to the Egungun house, that person stands the risk of not having menses again and may not have child any longer. So it's a prerogative of men, why the Yami thing is a prerogative of women. So you can call Egungun from the Egungun house. Egungun of a father that is dead or that they are in heaven can be called from another Egungun that is physical. Or a shrine of Egungun can be calibrated for a person to have a shrine of Egungun in the house, can call his own Egungun and the Egungun of other people there. Or if the shrine is not yet calibrated, the person can choose a corner of the house, put the pictures of the ancestors there, light some candle there, use a lot of white and red cloth, and if he learns the art of calling Orisha from the ground, he can now be trained to call that spirit to be venerated. When you call the name of the person, has a way of calling. You have to make the mouth active. You can activate the mouth by eating some alligator pepper in the mouth. That will make your mouth warm. Or eating obi abata, the 4, 5, or 6 lobe obi, that activates your mouth. And then you can now call by touching the mother ground and say, Aji Sale, Aji Sale, Aji Sale, Etigbure, Etigbure, Abeniogo. We have a way to call it. And then you say, Egungun of so person, you mentioned, please come. Come, we call you not for a fight. We call you to be venerated. It's your child that wants to do this and that. And then Egungun will come down. If you do it religiously, you feel it in the body that the atmosphere has changed, that the spirit has come down really. And then you offer what you have to offer, and you break kola to really confirm it has been accepted. And then that's it. It's a training. That's why we have classes. That's why you have Oluwo, who can teach you all of these ways to be done. It's a thing you can learn. Even a woman can do that, can do the corner thing in the house without going to the shrine of Egungun. It is the shrine of Egungun that a woman cannot enter into, but can do the corner thing in the house, and then that will be done. See? Yeah. So,
one time I was in class before I met you.
1 second.
Oh, yes.
As we are in this class, this is a spiritual class. If there's anybody that has any issue, any problem spiritually and things, can always raise up the hand to Oluwo if the person is needing help. It is not a taboo, because this is our house, it's our family. And thank you, Nana. So it's our house. Don't feel ashamed for anything. This is a class. This is a spiritual edifice. So, and you should not be ashamed for anything. And there's nothing we cannot take care of here. We have enough stuff here to take care of whatever. Okay.
And enough people who have the same issue.
And enough people. Yeah. Yeah. And usually, people who are lucky, what they do, immediately they are feeling uncomfortable, they run quickly to Oluwo. Yeah, it's not a taboo. Immediately they run to Oluwo, all is dressed, he knows what is happening.
Sure.
He has to do what he has to do, no matter what he is doing.
Sure.
You know, you are not troubling him. You are doing what you're supposed to do, okay? This is family, okay? Kindly. It costs you nothing. Yes.
Well, I allow other people to ask questions.
Well, they are learning from your question. If you have not exhausted your question.
Go around and then come back.
We appreciate
Okay.
Yeah, somebody else.
Okay, Sis wants to yield the floor for some other people who were new.
I was wondering if we could talk about, one, if women get initiated into ancestral tradition and Igbo tradition, like within Yoruba, and what's the role of, how do your ancestors and your Orisha work together to help you fulfill your destiny?
Okay. We thank God that what happens nowadays is been improved from what happens from the olden days. In the olden days, you don't usually find a person having 2, 3, 5 orishas. If you are a Gungun, you are a Gungun person. If you are Shango, you are Shango. If you are Ifa, you are Ifa. Oshun, you are Oshun. But nowadays, they have been mixed up. You know, as we relate, Shango people marry Ifa people marry Oshun. You understand what I'm saying? So the blood mixed together. So before you know it, you'll be seeing sign of 5 Orisha on one person. You know, and then there'll be struggle. So you have to satisfy them. So which means a person that has 2 or more Orisha in the head must be ready to learn and to walk. Because they are jealous. They need to be taken care of. So person must have knowledge. When you have knowledge, there's no confusion. If you are in the Yanifa proper, and then you are initiated into a Gungun, you will go to the society of a Gungun when they are doing their society, because nowadays they group up. The 5 people group up, Shango group up, Egungun group up, they do things together, they compare notes, they help themselves. You know, even in the town, when they say Egungun people must do so, you'll be seeing that, oh, this Babalawo has crossed again, because it's involved. oh, the Ogungun man has crossed to Ogun people, because he's involved and has a lot of things to do there. But if one has knowledge, one has no problem. The danger comes when there is no knowledge. When that person is not knowledgeable. So whatever Orisha that is in the head of a person or that is put on a person, that person must be ready to study. The people should not be given Orisha and not make them study, learn. You don't give Orisha to somebody and keep it with yourself and let the person go and say, I'm taking care of your Orisha for you. Is Orisha for you or for him or her? So you have to train the person. This is how you take care of Orisha, to let it be good. Even if the person is a king, you keep the Orisha in the house of the king, and you, Awo, will be going there to help him over there. That's why people, when they initiate, there must be a period of training, a people of information giving. The person should not break with the Oluwo. He has to be learning. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? Until the person gains perfection. All the troubleshooting has to be managed so that you can help the world. There's nothing wrong in being an Iyanifa and also being Iya Agon and also being Iya Oshun, but there's something wrong if you are not ready to take care of the Orishas you invite to your head. They give you the sign, but you invite them to come in. And inviting them to come in, which means you're ready. But our people have 9 children and still decide to adopt 4 or 5 more. It's because you can take care of them. But if you cannot take care of 2 children and say you want to adopt 3 more, why do you want to cause trouble? Why don't you donate your money to the orphanage so that they can take care of them there? You see? So it's very easy. You just have to learn. And this learning itself, Rome was not built in a day. You just need the support of a teacher, who will have to be helping you all the time. I'm at a crossroad. Hey, this is what is happening. He will be supporting you, but something till you are okay, little by little, because you are not going to drop the job that's giving you your daily bread, the job that is paying your house rent, the job that is giving you support to take care of your family. The Orisha is to support to make that job better. So you need somebody to help in grooming you to make it happen. It may happen quickly, it may happen for a long time, depending on how much time, how much readiness you can afford. Like what we created when I started these classes, everybody is able for a situation. But are we all willing? If we are all willing, are we ready? You see, that's the thing. So, being able is common to all. Being willing may not be common. But if you are willing, the readiness has to be dictated by some situations. Because you may not be ready all the time. Maybe there's no time. You are willing, but you are not yet ready. So the time you spend may be longer than the time a person that is able, willing, and ready spend. Like you say, this is a fact. Nothing we can do about it. So anything is possible. Care is possible. Whatever Orisha you have, one cannot disturb the other, provided you are a mother that's ready to give care for all the children you have. I hope that's understood. Okay.
So
So,
we going to wind up, but we will go to Cross Street because we have to leave here at 9 o'clock. Okay?
So, yes, please.
I have a question.
All right.
Why don't we keep that question there? Because
Oh, we're going to
Okay.
we're
collect
going
it.
to go, yes.
Okay.
So that will be part 2.
All right. So that they don't
Yes. Close us.
refuse us next time when we want to use this august place.
Yes.
That place is our own.
That's ours.
Okay. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Baba. Thank
you're
you.
welcome.
We have gained a great deal this evening from your wisdom. We are very appreciative. We are definitely on the road to having a greater year.
Ashe.
This year, because they say knowledge is power.
Truly.
And the wisdom, the knowledge that we're gaining from you, I know that we're going to use it positively
Ashe.
to propel ourselves to a more successful, productive 2018.
Ashe.
Thank you so much, Ashe.
Yeah.
I can work with all these apps.